There, everybody. My name is Madison Parker. I'm with Equip to Endure, and this is my friend Bobby. We are survival instructors. We like to teach wilderness living and primitive technology. And today we're going to share with you what we call a yoke-out snare. What we're going to do here today is we're going to show you how to set up a trap for yoking out an animal. And the important thing about this is what I was talking about before is simplicity. Very little equipment, very little tools. Basically a knife and some 550 cord, and of course if you don't have 550 cord, your next go-to cord would be plant fiber. If you can find plant fiber, all good on you. If you can't, then 550 cord your of course your first choice. You can use wire for these also, so wire would probably be your first choice, 550 being second, and then plant fiber would be third choice. But this is a trap that we aptly named, Bobby and myself. We named it the Yoke-Out trap.
The Yoke-Out trap.
And then basically what it does is it yokes the animal out. And you can see it's two verticals in the ground. There's nothing to it really. I just took two saplings, cut them off, drove them into the ground. So those are my verticals, these two being the verticals. Then I took two horizontal bars and attached them with 550 cord onto the two verticals. So I got a basic H to my twitch up pole, and I delimbed it. You always want to take the limbs off, because if you leave limbs sticking out here and here and here and all this place, when that thing gets triggered, if there's limbs and leaves, it's going to retard, I should say, it's going to retard the speed.
Yeah, it slows it down.
Right,
like
slows it down.
The leaves actually gather air and slow the whole thing down.
Exactly, yeah. They catch air and they retard the speed of the trap. So we want to avoid that. So that's why I denude or take the limbs off of this sapling. I want to retie this because it's gotten a little loose. We've been kind of letting people mess around with it today, and it's gotten loosened up. Really, when I use 550 cord, I really prefer to gut it. Oh, see, I got 550 cord here and I've gutted it. Simple thing to do. You don't ever want to, by the way, never leave this stuff in the field like so. It's a flag. Not only will the wild game see it, you know, you're just leaving the forest violated, so to speak, and you don't want to leave the areas you're using to trap or snare or live off the land violated with trash. And this is basically trash. But in a wilderness setting, this is equipment that you can use later on. So you don't, if you do happen to gut your 550 cord, always keep it in your pocket. Don't throw it on the ground, and don't leave it on the animals can get caught up in it. Yeah. It's just not a good thing to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reinforce here. I'm going to tie off another time just to make sure I got it stable and strong. So on this nylon, I like to do a double round turn, what we call a surgeon's knot, followed by a square knot over the top. So a surgeon's knot, simply a double overhand knot followed by a square knot over the top. Okay? Yeah. Is that enough? Yeah, that should be enough. I just want to tighten it up. So that's one time, two times, if the camera can see that. Really anchor that down. A right over left, and then a left over right. Okay, it's a double overhand with a right over left, left over right knot, and that will ensure that the nylon will still tied. Nylon has a tendency to come untied very easily. Nylon's very slick. It's a great medium for using for the field. But be advised, if you don't tie the proper knot, it will come untied. So, okay, now this has already been set up. What we did is Bobby and I was showing Bobby this earlier for simplicity. This is just a simple system, and it's a great trap. So basically, all I've done is take a piece of 550 cord and tie both ends in a U-form shape. You see it? It's just a simple 550 cord tied here, come down in a loop, and back to the top and tie it again. Okay, so you see all I've got here is a loop. Then on the very front end of this twitch up, or spring pole, as some trappers like to use that terminology, a spring pole, I tied another single and tied a simple pin, or what we call in the trapper's terms is a pin. This would be our pin or a trigger stick, okay? So what I want to do, first thing I do, and I can control the whole thing from here, just with this hand, okay? So I'm going to take this down, I'm going to drop it down, I'm going to put that loop through there like so, okay? Now I'm going to get my arms between this, right there like that. I want to...
That's very important.
Yes, it is.
You really need to emphasize what you just did with that.
Okay, you see where I'm in between? I've got the loop and my hand is, my arm is in between, and I've got control of the whole thing just with one hand. Plus I got a free hand, which is important also. So what I'm going to do is come down here, I'm going to take the little tip, just the very end, which is only probably a, what, quarter to a half inch?
Yeah.
Okay, it just got this little tab right here at the end. It's just the knob at the very end of the stick, okay? So I'm going to come down. The first thing I want to do is take my loop, and I'm going to drop it through the two bars, the two horizontal bars that I've attached to the two vertical bars. Now I'm going to pull those out of the way, and I'm going to come behind that back horizontal bar, okay? The back horizontal, not the front, but the back horizontal bar, and then I'm going to pivot. I'm going to pivot this vertical pin stick. Then I'm going to take my treadle bar. This is my treadle bar, and I'm going to put it up here like this. And now what I have here is what we call a safe trigger. Now this trap is basically set, but I've got it on safe so I can work around here. I can work here without fear of it being triggered because I have this treadle bar so far up it's not going to trigger it, okay? So then I want to set my snare and get it all set up nice so it's good, and then open it up, so make sure that the animal is not going to pass through the back side or go around the outside of the snare. Okay, so now I got that, and then the last thing I want to do, now keep in mind, friends, as you're watching me, what we're doing here is we're assuming that this is an animal trail. The animal comes down off the mountain, he's coming across this trail, and he's going down to the creek to feed, or to get water, I'm sorry. Okay, he's going to drink water, and he's going to follow the same trail and go back. Now you can bait this if you like, if not, you don't have to bait it. Either way you want to do it, it's good. So the last thing you're going to do before you come in here is go ahead, before you walk away that is, you want to take this treadle bar and drop it as far down, reasonably low on that trigger as possible, and you want to imprint way low. Wait a minute. I want to really pack that dirt in tight right there. So you have plenty of drop. Plenty of drop here. If the camera can see what I'm doing, I'm basically packing the soil. So now I'm going to drop my treadle bar like so. And I got my loop. Everything's out of the way. And now I'm set. Now I take this stick and I'll show you. The stick will mimic the movement or the transition of the animal, say coming off the creek when he gets his water. And he's going back his trail, coming through. Here's my loop. Yeah, my loop's in. Okay, this being the end of the stick would be the animal coming through, sticks his body through, steps through it, and he's caught. Right here, holding this animal up against this two horizontal bars, and he's being, as what we term the trap, the yoke-out trap. It's basically the pressure of this tree is pulling upward and choking the animal out. In this case, we're talking rabbits, squirrels, rats, chipmunks, things like that.
What you want to do is, if this is a trail, this is a trail here, what you want to do is funnel the animal into this trap. The only way to really do that is to place sticks, or you can put them in a V, you can put them out straight, but you want to put sticks side by side, or even take a tree and lay the tree down over the top of this and just notch this out so that you're actually funneling the animal into your trap. So you're actually giving yourself more of an advantage of actually trapping the animal and getting him in here. If you just let this wide open, he might look at this as
go around that.
A little something something, and he'll go around it.
Amen.
It's their living room. No matter how stupid the animal is, whether it's a woodchuck, like a marmot, they're real dumb, but this is their living room. So you've got to try to force them and funnel them
Right.
right into that.
Right. Amen. Good point. Good point. So anyway, we've shown you a brief idea about how to make a very simple trap. Now keep in mind, friends, when you're in the field and you're in a wilderness setting and you're maybe stuck, you're not on a survival situation, but maybe you have 4 days before you're going to get picked up. Say you're going to get picked up, but you got 4 days and you don't have any food, and yada, 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 you just don't know. But so you're going to make every effort to capture or kill and get something so you can eat, so you can have enough energy to produce, more stuff.
Calories out.
Yeah, that's
calories
right.
in.
That's right. And of course, remember, your calories or your energy is your most precious resource while living off the land. So as you spend energy, you need to replace that energy. Of course, it takes energy to build a trap. But you want to use these traps and snares to provide yourself with food. You can also use the fur for, making a pair of gloves for your hands, maybe moccasins or whatever you want. And of course, that takes you into hide tanning. And so it's really, when you open the floodgates, it just floods in. But we wanted to share this with you for simplicity's point. Traps and snares don't have to be complicated. They're really not. Once you start and understand, become familiar with just a single couple of triggers, they can change your whole outlook about how you live off the land and how much fun it can be, and challenging and exciting at the same time. If you're interested in seeing these technologies and some of these traps and snares and some of the other wilderness and primitive skills that we here at Equipped to Endure like to share, please give us a call. We can be found on the website equippedtoendure.com, or you can find me, Madison, at equippedtoendure.com.
And I'm Bobby at equippedtoendure.com. If you need any questions or you'd like me to answer anything, this is also a confidence builder. Once you learn how to make one of these traps and it's successful, your confidence level is real high. So if you ever get in a situation, like Madison was telling you, you get into a situation, this will build your confidence.
Thank you for watching.
Yep.
And remember that if you're not always prepared, you're never prepared.